a person says if a person watches TV, serials or news in which women are without their hijab, will this invalidate the fast?
As far as looking at a woman without hijab, staring at her, it's not permitted in Islam. Whether during Ramadan or non-Ramadan, whether fasting or not fasting. And Allah says in the Quran, in Surah Nur, chapter number 24, verse number 30, say to the believing man that he should lower his gaze and guard his modesty. That means the moment he looks at a woman, any unnecessary thought comes in his mind. If the woman is not in hijab, he should lower his gaze. So based on this verse of the Quran, it is haram to look and stare at a woman. And when you're watching television, but natural, when the woman comes on the screen, not that you lower your gaze, almost all of them, they continue staring at the woman. That reminds me of an incident that once I told my friend who was staring at a girl for a long time, I said, what are you doing? It's not allowed to stare in Islam. So he told me, our beloved Prophet said that the first glance is forgiven, the second is prohibited. I have not completed half my glance. What does the Prophet mean? Did it mean that you can stare at a woman for 10 minutes without blinking and saying that your glance is not completed? What the Prophet meant was that if you accidentally look at a woman, do not look at her again to feast on her beauty. And this is mentioned in the hadith of our beloved Prophet ﷺ of Sunan Abu Dawud, hadith number 2144, where Prophet ﷺ tells Hazrat Ali, may Allah be pleased with him, that do not look at the woman again. The first glance is accepted, but do not look at her again. Same hadith is repeated in Sunan Abu Dawud, hadith number 2143. The Prophet said that accidental glance is permitted, but do not look at the woman again. So based on the verse of the Quran and the hadith, but natural, watching television or watching any programs on the television or any movies in which the women aren't properly dressed, they aren't doing the hijab, and looking at them and staring at them and continuously observing them is haram. And all the more in the month of Ramadan, it is more bad. The fast will not be invalidated, but the rewards that the person will get will surely be diminished. And if you continue, it doesn't only mean watching television, even reading magazines, even newspapers. And today, as we all know, that most of the magazines, most of the newspapers, they have photographs of ladies who are not properly dressed, obscene photographs. And that reminds me that previously, maybe 10, 15 years back, hardly any newspapers, the daily newspaper that you had, that you get in Bombay and in India, didn't contain any photographs which were obscene. But as time went on, you know, even the Indians are following the Western culture, and you find that almost all the newspapers, the daily newspapers, they have photographs of ladies who are not properly dressed, and some papers had photographs in the attached section. Now, you have them in the front page also. So imagine reading these normally is wrong, and Ramadan all the more it's wrong. You open the paper, you're fasting, and you see a lady who's not properly dressed up, or she's wearing very little clothes, you know, just to sell the paper. So all these things are prohibited normally also, all the more when you're fasting.